Paratrooper Dylan just followed.
Eh, dropping things. Hello, I'm here. You can hopefully hear me. I think you can. Yeah, looks like you can. Okay. Well, this is fun. If you have a desire for closed captioning, you can go to the little closed caption button on Twitch and tell it to put captions on. And I have that ability now. I can see the captions in OBS. They are hearing me. Hi, chat. Welcome. Oh, and thank you, Paratrooper Dylan, for following 3 minutes ago while I was on an ad. RIP. Sorry about that. Okay. This is Practice Stream is live. Yeah, and hopefully I won't be doxing myself today. Already kind of had that happen, but it wasn't my fault. And it wasn't on stream either. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, let's see. What am I doing? Where did I leave off with this? All right, so I'm doing a commission for somebody. It is a map, as you can see, hopefully. It's a world-ish kind of map, I think, for their webcomic. I think it's like fantasy-esque. That's the vibe I got anyway. And I honestly don't remember where the fuck I left off. Okay. Let's see. I think I was doing cities. Oh yes, I was doing cities and I had duplicated because they weren't quite visible enough, but I'm gonna get rid of that because I have more cities to draw. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. I need to do some stuff. But yeah, mostly I'm just gonna be chatting and drawing, as the British say. I can't do it right. I don't know why I even tried. I just said it a little weird one time. Okay. Okay. And I think the answer that I received was British. Yes. I think the answer I received was 25 with about 7 on outlying islands. So I will mark some other little guys. Little guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's one over here. And then British people don't exist. Where's Planet Popper? I think we are casting some aspersions here. Oh my god, Juniper is snoring behind me. I wish you could hear it. Okay. Honestly, there's probably one here. And then here. All right. Good enough. Juniper is so cute. Hopefully she is doing better. I was reporting earlier in Celine's chat that she seems like she's been like more normal today in terms of happiness and alertness and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that she is responding to the current medications that she is on, because I want her to get better. That's my baby bear. Okay. British people are all fiction made for storybooks and all that. Fair enough. I guess that is not something that I can disprove. So we got a couple little buildings. The key to drawing buildings when they're really small is to just kind of draw little boxes. I know. Hopefully you guys can't hear any K-pop, which is what I am listening to. Oh my god, I just got like 600 notifications from Discord on my phone. We're gonna make a tree in the middle. What's the point of this tree? I don't know. That's not my job. That's the writer's job. Did they leak my mother's maiden name? What do you mean? Who? Is this something new I have to be worried about? For those who aren't aware, I streamed, I don't know, Friday, Saturday, and you will find no record of it on the internet because I had to delete the VOD 4 times. Oh, did they? No, they didn't. But thank you for the concern. I was trying to set up this so you could see, you know, the this, and I couldn't get it to work. And so I was trying to change inputs, and eventually I just made it so that you could see my desktop, which came with its own issues later. No, I don't think I've leaked my credit card info. or the 3 silly little numbers. But uh, you know, uh, I was trying different inputs and I tried one that did in fact show my face for about 2 seconds. And I was like, no, that's the non-green face. I don't want to show the non-green face. So I nuked that video. Then I opened my documents on my computer, something that you do every day without danger usually. Except I was showing that because I was showing my whole screen because the stupid app was not behaving. And what happened then will surprise you, but some of the folders are named with your name. If when Windows asks you what your name is when you start the computer up the first time, you tell them what your name is because you weren't a VTuber at that time. You were just a, you know, a person with a government name. So that was showing, so I nuked the video a second time. Then, like 2 seconds later, I did the same fucking thing, except I was opening the start menu. And the start menu at the bottom kinda shows your name because Windows thought that was a good idea. And so that was fun. That stream lasted all of about 30 seconds. And then the last one came at the very end, and then I decided I was just fucking not doing it anymore that night. And I actually got like a good maybe hour and 15 into the stream. And oh, I know what happened. Celine had some sort of issue. I don't remember what it was, but I had to go into her room to help her. And my iPad timed out. And what happens? Yes, it is her fault. What happens when the iPad times out is this stupid app shows your IP address for some ungodly reason. Because it goes back to like the default screen of this app on the PC, and it does in fact show your entire IP address. So that was the point where in chat Pedro was like, holy shit, you got to be kidding me. And I came back, realized what had happened, and nuked that video too. Yep. That's how my last stream went. So this is the first stream of the new year, guys. There was no other stream. You can't tell me that there was. There's no proof. Yeah, anyway. I'm a fucking idiot as it turns out. This is why I don't stream. It's because I am colossally bad at it. It really was like some Three Stooges, like it was comical how stupid I was. But you know what? We can't all be streaming pros like Celine Whitetail. Now, every time I like click on something and I see something in my peripheral vision up here on like the screen, I get nervous that it's gonna be me doxing myself again. So anytime I open this little thing, it scares me a little bit. Unregistered, yeah, I'm not gonna register. You know why? Because that fucking app leaked my IP address. So no, I'm not gonna give it, as it turns out, $3.99. I'm gonna continue using it like this because I was told it was free anyway. So the people who made this jank ass shit can deal. Okay. I'm vague. So how is everybody today? I was feeling a little bit, my tummy was hurting a little bit earlier. It feels okay right now, but you know how stomachs are. They are tempestuous beasts at best. Also, thank you for saying that I'm funny and smart. Why did I do that? Oh, what is that? Oh, that looks like oh, that's the border. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. My sweater looks particularly yellow today, thanks. Thank you. Let's see. Cities. That sounds lovely. Also, I'm just laughing at Pedro. Your secret's safe with me. What am I doing? Like this? Yeah, I guess so. All I see is Pretty Particle @ing Celine in the Discord in general, and I'm like, is she narking on Pedro? Eh. I have to spend some time tomorrow setting up switches. My Switch is actually set up, so I don't have to do shit with mine. But I have to set up Celine's so that we can play Mario Kart 64 and play Mario Tennis, the 64 version. It's going to be fucking great. I'm so excited for Saturday. I tried to convince her on last Saturday that we should do it, and she was like, "We can't do it this last minute." No. Which is fair and valid, and probably why she doesn't dox herself constantly, because she actually like plans things for her stream. I know, it's gonna be so fun. It's so toxic. Did you really do it? That's really funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry, Pedro. It's not my fault though. We're making like a little tree village in here. Oh, the wait, I think this is supposed to be no, the capital's over there, I think. Yes. Yeah, she has never played Mario Kart 64, so it's gonna be very fun and exciting. Okay. We made like a little tree village. Okay. And then is this supposed to be? Yeah, I guess I did put one there, didn't I? Now, why did I do that? Okay. We'll carve it into the mountain. Or something. Okay. Also, speaking of Celine, she's supposed to be working on ASMR stuff right now. Guess where she is? I bet you'll never be able to guess. Oh, but I can do this. Yes, she is in the chair. Oh, did you not know that my glasses came off? I guess you never make my streams because you didn't have notifications. Yeah, my glasses come off. E. I guess technically I don't really need them to like draw because that's up close. So makes sense. Makes sense. Oh my god, my dog is snoring so loud. Oh, I'm sorry, Juniper. By saying that out loud, I woke her up. Or maybe she was snored so loud she woke herself up. I'm not sure. But when I turned around, her eyes were open and she was looking at me. You're a good girl. I love you. It's extra cute when she cries. Are you talking about me? That's so mean. What is cry? I think it's 3. Wait, Pedro wants me to cry. Okay. Maybe it has a big like part that's on the water on this lake. Ba-ba-da. Let's see. Yeah, so how is everybody today? I was tuned in for most of God of War, but I was playing Slay the Spire for a lot of it. Ooh, this is exciting. I need to tell Cloud Factory yesterday. I need to tell Cloud Factory yesterday? Yeah, that makes sense. I need to tell Cloud Factory tomorrow that I made it to Ascension level 7 in on the defect in Slay the Spire. Woo! Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, there are 20 Ascension levels. So I still have quite a way to go. It's so fun, Pretty Particle. Oh my god. Okay. This one's a big city, I think. Well, it's a capital at least. Baby, baby, baby. I wish you work with your job as well. I get it. Well, I mean, I do and I don't. Like my job is consistent, but like I don't always have tons of stuff to do. But I get paid all the time anyway, so yeah, best of both worlds, exactly. It means I get to goof around, but I still get paid. I mean, don't tell my job that. You didn't hear me say that. Money is good. Yes, 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 yes. Money is good. Having health insurance is very good. Especially for a cactus with chronic health issues. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I work in job for state, and it is absolutely a, kind of a thing where, like, there's not a whole lot of crunch, except, I mean, there can be some crunch, I guess, but because I am working in a job where, we are trying to, like, responsibly spend money on behalf of our, like, constituents or what have you, rather than, like, um, trying to make money, it means that you don't need to, like, be obsessed with the things that, like, trying to make money make people obsessed with in jobs, if you know what I mean? Yes, absolutely, yeah, there's no profit motive, which is a much, like, cleaner way of saying what I was trying to say as I was struggling. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, so that's nice. Hopefully, everyone is having a better start to their, 2025 than I have. Yeah, for sure. But, like, I am not a political appointee despite the accusations of being a senator. So I'm just, a civil servant. So oh my god! Hi! Yes! Oh my god. Okay, so here's the progress. Yes. Hi, this is my client who is this map is for. Yes, I'm so excited. Hopefully you are pleased so far. Please let me know if there's anything you want changed. I've been adding in little like city details so far today. Haven't done too much, but like this, is like a little kind of like village here that's very wooded. And then I made like a town that's, like, in the treetops, and then I made this one over here that is, like, built into the side of this mountain with, this, like, mountain lake they're kind of built on top of. Um, I will add, like, little fun things, I will do that. Like, if you look here, one of the details is, like, there are sand snakes in this desert. So, I have added, like, that detail to the map and things like that. Um but yeah, hello. Uh Proof that I am in fact working on this commission. And I am actually like very happy to be working on this commission. I don't get to work on maps very often, but I love when I do. Um because they're very satisfying when they're finished. Um cuz I feel like anybody can look at a map and understand the vision, you know? Like um 'cause, people live places. People understand what, like, places are like. So I think it's very fun because like, not everyone's, like, art of characters is gonna be to everyone's taste, but I feel like when you make map art, it's something that, like, everyone can find something interesting in, but, yeah, welcome. Yes, absolutely. I will make sure to give like little blurbs of what my ideas are for these places, and then you get the onerous task of actually incorporating them into the story. But that's like kind of the fun part. I always thought like when I would do world building for D&D, for example, I would really rely on my map making if it was a battle map or if it was a larger map than just a battle map to like determine what I was gonna do in the narrative. So I think that there's a lot of fun to be had there. Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about before I got client jump scared. No, I'm kidding. I'm so excited to see you um here and think that's great. And I'm glad that you are enjoying the progress so far because I'm enjoying the process of making the map. Um but I have no idea what I was talking about before that. Yeah, absolutely. I've told this before. Like I was talking about this on my previous stream that I doxed myself 4 times on. Don't worry about it. Um, uh, but my brother and I used to like collaborate on D&D world building, and he was very into like learning all of the particulars.
Frowsy
Oh,
Exo just followed.
thank you. Thank you for the follow. He was very into the particulars of like how um continents develop based on like wind patterns and what sort of climates would be in particular locations based on the amount of water and elevation and the wind vortexes and whatever. Um, and so he was very interested in that kind of thing. So I kind of like picked up some of it. I don't know all the like specific scientific parts cuz like I don't feel like I need to, but I have the basics of like how continents form and like water runs from high elevation to low elevation and it streamlines typically as it comes to like that spitting out point into an ocean and like things like that. And so it gives me an idea of where to put those kinds of features. And in putting those features there, I was really surprised, but like it made sense. I surprised myself when I was putting down the borders. I don't know where I put that. Oh, here. I was putting down the borders because I had put rivers in places where the borders made sense to cut off the countries. And so I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. I can, delineate where this goes based on this river that I put here." And that is like how a lot of states or countries in our world are, delineated. Like in the same way, or even on the city level, it can be like that too. So, yeah, it was just very exciting, and I was pleasantly surprised when I was like, "Oh, look, there's a river here that I can follow to make this border," and it went well with what you had already had in mind for your world. So it was exciting. Um, but yeah, so I like doing this kind of thing, especially because with fantasy worlds, you get a little bit of leeway because there's usually an assumption that there's like magic happening. So if that's the case, then you don't need to be 100% perfect to realism. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, cool. And of course, like I said before, if you have any sorts of like concerns or edits you want to make, all you have to do is let me know. I am more than happy to do so. And I just really enjoy working with clients who are like actively engaged. And, I feel like when I commission art, regardless of what kind of art it is, I do the same. Like I try to be as responsive and like, uh, enthusiastic for how the artist is doing the project while still like maintaining what my interest is in, my own character or world or what have you. So, yeah, very exciting. and I'm glad that it is coming out like you pictured. Yeah, and at this point, I'm mostly just, like, making buildings based on, like, "Oh, what are the natural features around here? Like, what would it be made of? Like, these are definitely gonna be wooden houses as opposed to, like, stone or something." "Hey, Planet Popper." "Thank you." Because, like, they're in the forest and things such as that. I'm gonna have to add more roads, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, very exciting. It's a creative muscle that I don't often get to stretch because I'm not running any games for D&D at the moment, but, and that was the primary reason why I would, uh Ooh, ooh, floating continents in the sky. That's so exciting. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, I have another map commission right now that I'm in, like, the beginning stages of. That one is a city map rather than, like, a continent or world map. Um, and, that one's gonna be, like, cyberpunk-ish, so that's gonna be very exciting. I like drawing in all styles. I thought you were the one who was saying, oh, no, Jet said that British people don't exist. That's what it was. Blame Jet. I was the one who said that he would have to take it up with Planet Popper because I know that you exist. Um, I see. Let's see. Floating continent. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, can you send? Yes, absolutely. You can send me something you made. I love seeing other people's art, and I've been seeing you using Ace Sprite recently. Yes. See, I was getting very like D&D vibes from this ask when you uh sent me the commission info, so I'm glad that I was on the right page. Will these things be visible from a distance? God only knows. I mean, kind of. Okay. I see. Oh, and I see. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um Oh, I was gonna ask, Frowsy, uh, I had a thought while I was driving the other day. I was thinking about this commission, and what I was gonna do with it. Is this something, ooh, a half-blood omen, okay. I was thinking, like, maybe adding an effect over the top of the entire thing, and, like, let me just very briefly demonstrate what I'm talking about. So like if I was gonna like kind of wow, that's too small. Kind of like make it so that like it looks like there are creases in the map, like it was something that has been unfolded, perhaps. Like so like this, and then like one side would have more shadow and the other side would have more like um highlight, and obviously it would be more realistic looking than this. This was just a quick mock-up, but, like, I was wondering what your thoughts were on that, if you, like, you wanted it to look like an actual physical document that like, maybe the corners curl up at the edges and stuff like that. Um, or if you want it to just be you like that? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Perfect. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page because it just occurred to me randomly because I like to do things that make maps look weathered anyway, which is why you have this like kind of sepia overtone to the entire thing. Um, even with the color. But yeah, I will definitely do that and like run that by you. Cool. Yeah. I love making maps. That's so big. Um, it gives me opportunities to do things that I never get to do in like character art. Okay. Exercise safely, pretty particle. But dope. I'm excited. Um, you make me Ooh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll look at that after stream. That'll be exciting. Yeah, it's funny because every time people are like, "Oh, so what are you drawing a map for?" I'm like, It's a web comic. I don't really know anything too much about it, but I'll be excited to be able to point people in your website's direction." Okay. All right, that's looking decently sized there. Honestly, there should probably be a city there too. Here. I think 23 is what I was up to. Okay. All right. Have fun. Hopefully people aren't too toxic, Planet Popper. Dope. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. That's really exciting. I used to like when I was in high school, I used to read a ton of webcomics. So um that's definitely something that I've been like, that'd be really fun to do. But I also know that like I don't have the discipline to like make art every so often to be able to get it out on like a regular schedule. So okay. Let's see if this is like meadowy, swampy a little bit. Reported 4 people. Oh my god. Well, hey, I'm glad that somebody who you reported got taken care of. Yeah, I thought it was so weird when Planet Popper was saying the other day that the new league season was starting because like I don't know, it seems weird to me that it would start in the middle of a month, but I guess I don't really pay attention to when like what day of the month Apex seasons start either, so it might be not that weird. Okay. Hey, Maycard. How are you? Or do I have multiple layers of that, maybe? Probably. I'll fix it later. Lasagna. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, did Celine post pictures? I hope she did. We had like taco salad without like anything crunchy. Well, that's not true. We had it with lettuce, but like no shells or tortillas or anything like that. And it was just like in a bowl with lettuce and sour cream and all the sauces and stuff. It was so good. I was stuffed. Yeah, we have kind of unintentionally like this has been forced on Celine kind of because she feeds me, but essentially we're doing intermittent fasting more or less, and it wasn't like intentional, but well, it was intentional, but it wasn't like I planned to do intermittent fasting, I guess I should say. Because um I was finding that like I had a better time like managing what I was eating if I was eating like dinner essentially early, and then and by early I mean like 3 to 4 p.m., and then like not eating another meal until breakfast the next day. Like it was better for my blood sugar, it was better for like, you know, how I slept, and like I wasn't getting hungry either, so that was good. Um and so I have found like some weight loss benefits to that, which is nice. And I'm just genuinely kind of surprised that it's working because it's not something that I like if I had thought about it, I would have planned or intended to do. I never would have been a girly who was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing intermittent fasting and keto, whatever." But just like kind of managing when I eat and like portion control has done wonders for me. So it's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that like essentially 2 meals in a day works better for me than 3 in like all avenues of my life. All right, so we got a little guy there. Yeah, I got diagnosed with type 2 just about this time last year actually. And I was never like super high in terms of A1C, which is your like long-term blood glucose. Yeah, same with me. And the goal with me was always that I wouldn't have to be on insulin ever. And so my A1C has actually dropped back down to like almost quote unquote like non-diabetic levels. Like I'm never going to not have the condition, but um you can essentially put it in remission if you eat the appropriate things for your body and uh, medication as well. But yeah, I have found that it's weird. The only time I ever really have a low blood sugar issue is like between breakfast and lunch. I never have it like between lunch and breakfast the next day when I'm fasting. It's interesting because you would think that like if you're going many hours without eating, that would be the time when like you would have an issue. But I also am not a scientist, so or a doctor. So maybe it does make sense that way. Yeah, nutrition is fascinating. Um, but yeah, I have found it to be working very well, which we love. Yeah, not to talk too much about like weight and eating and stuff because I know that can be triggering for some people, but like s- actually since this time last year when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I have lost a total of 30 pounds. It's crazy when you think about it because I wasn't like I don't want to say I wasn't trying very hard, but like I could have tried harder, I guess. So it's crazy to think about that. Your uncle's a diabetic who eats ice cream and chocos, and yep, his entire diet is carbs. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's true for like a lot of Americans. It's really hard. And there is a degree of like, I don't want to say it's true for everyone, but there is a degree of like addiction to food that can happen to people. And I was talking with a coworker about this yesterday, actually. There is just like a lot of people use food as a coping mechanism. And if you are not prepared to like deal with that and replace that coping mechanism with a different healthier coping mechanism, you're going to have like a very difficult time. And I was absolutely someone who would and still does have the inclination sometimes to want to like self-soothe with food. And like it's just a matter of knowing that that is something that is not going to help you or make you happier, and in fact, like, would frequently make me, like, feel more miserable afterwards. Um, but yeah, it's difficult because, you know, American diets especially are very, like, carb heavy and very processed, and it's hard to get away from that, especially when the quote unquote "average person" is not eating that way. Yeah, and being picky doesn't help either. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, I know it's something that some people don't like talking about, but, like, I am very open when it comes to talking about health, like, I talk about mental health all the time, I talk about having ADHD all the time, and, like, those are things that are, significant parts of my life, obviously, so I think it's, like, helpful to talk about, like, my experiences with those kinds of things, especially as someone who is, like, making appreciable progress in, like, becoming, like, a healthier version of myself, so, I don't know. Sometimes we talk about dick jokes on this stream, and sometimes we talk about things like intermittent fasting and, executive dysfunction with ADHD. Yeah, it's absolutely it's so nuanced, and, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I am on a, GLP-1 agonist, medication, and so those are your Ozempics and your Wegovy's and your Mounjaros, and, that has done a lot to lower my blood sugar and, to help me, like, lose weight because it turned out, like, I didn't realize until I was on this medication that I had basically never in my life been producing the appropriate amount of the hormone that tells your brain when your stomach is full. And so essentially I was just like, I would eat and still feel hungry, so I would overeat. And even like after the first time I took this medication, it was like a light bulb turned on. And like suddenly I was like, oh, I don't have to eat everything on my plate. And that is something that absolutely could not have happened for me. Ah, that's a huge eraser. Could not have happened for me without like medical intervention. Like I have, dieted before and had struggles with it and I was never really sure why. And, you know, there's a certain amount of like determination and dedication to making changes to your life that requires willpower. But there's also a certain amount that is going to, especially in regards to weight loss, going to be dependent on your biology. And so having the ability to feel full is like, it's like cheating, but like good cheating. And I am very appreciative of medical science for making developments. Let's see. I'm reading chat. Yeah. Oh my god, that's insane, Midgard. That a teacher said that to you. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I am a woman who was late diagnosed with ADHD. I only got diagnosed, I want to say 3 years ago. Um, so it has been like I was a person who had a lot of trouble in the past few years with like depression and anxiety and like repeat depressive episodes that like impacted my ability to like function at my job. And there was actually a job that I um basically more or less ghosted because I was so depressed. Like I couldn't handle it anymore. And so uh once I was medicated and like learning how to cope and understand the fact that I had ADHD, it was like I've literally cried over it. Like it was something that like I couldn't have imagined a few years ago. Like even like 2 years ago. Because I had just struggled so much for so long as an adult. I was thinking about this the other day. I remember distinctly when I was in the last year of my undergrad, I needed to finish my thesis and like the deadline had passed. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna graduate. I'm not gonna be able to like finish my degree." And I was just like, I remember sitting on the floor of my dorm room with the door closed, books all around me, the books I needed to like work on my thesis, my laptop on the floor, and I'm just sitting there cross-legged crying because I'm like, why can't I make my brain do the work I need it to do? I want to finish this. I don't want to fail. And ultimately, it was like the help of my thesis advisor and like the head of the department who made it so that I still graduated on time. Like they accepted my thesis late. They were very supportive of me and like it was that fact that they were willing to help me based on like my prior performance having been good. They were able to help me when I was having basically like this breakdown because I was, experiencing executive dysfunction, but I didn't know that's what was happening. Yeah. Um, it's crazy because like, I know now what that feeling is, and I can look back and be like, "Oh, you didn't have the medication or the support or the therapy that you needed to handle the situation." And I was just so miserable and so isolated and I felt like I was crazy. Um, and in reality, I was just not being treated for a condition that I had been experiencing my entire life. And I just didn't know how to deal with it. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, New England is a weird place. Um, but yeah, it's weird and it's nice to be able to look back and recognize the progress that I have made and how I know now like I'm never going to necessarily end up in the same places that I was previously. Because for a while, my, like, biggest fear in my life was, having another depressive episode and, like, ending up in the same place mentally, physically that I was previously. That was my, like, biggest fear. I thought there was always going to be another time then, that would happen again. It would recur forever. And so it's just wild to be able to look now and realize that I might not actually like, I might not have ever had depression, um, if I had been treated for my ADHD earlier. Like, a lot of people, especially women who are diagnosed late, um, discover that, like, depression and anxiety are secondary to ADHD and result from not having your conditions taken seriously or being treated appropriately your entire life, especially by, like, your family or teachers and stuff. Hi, I'm Murdoch. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and, like, it's still absolutely possible that, like, I do have primary depression, and it's just everything else is so managed and I'm stable and I'm, like, recovering that, like, it's not been an issue for me. Oh, yeah. I literally, not to get too serious, and, like, if people don't wanna hear this, this would be a time to mute, talking about, like, ideation and stuff like that. The reason why, like, I said that I basically ghosted my job, the reason why is I at the time, I was taking public transportation, I was taking a train to work, and there came a point in time where I seriously considered walking in front of the train. Like, that was something I would think about every day before going to work, and it got to the point where I was like, "I can't go there anymore because 'cause I'm afraid I might do it." Um, so, obviously, I'm glad I didn't, um, and I'm really glad I didn't, and I had the, like, support I needed, and I got the help I needed, so, like, that's absolutely something that if you are struggling with thoughts and feelings like that, um, that's not something that you're supposed to go through every day. I was talking to my therapist about this relatively recently, like a few months ago. I was like, "It's so weird. I can wake up and be happy and nothing has happened. I just wake up and I'm happy." And she said, "Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen." And I was like, "Holy shit, I didn't realize that," because for so long, being kind of miserable was my normal. And, so absolutely, if, like, you're experiencing suicidal ideation, if you are experiencing serious depression, I just wanna, like, give a PSA that, like, um, please reach out to someone, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's, you know, medical professionals preferably, like, make sure that you are being treated for it in some way, shape, or form, like, even though it might not feel like it, you deserve to be here, and I want people to know if we're talking about this subject that um, you should seek help, and you are worth seeking help, so yeah. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, absolutely. This is a place where I understand and appreciate people who have depression, who have anxiety, who are neuro, diverse, because I'm all of those things and I have experienced it and I know what it's like, and I know what it's like to feel like you shouldn't be alive. And I am someone who will look at you and say, "You should be, actually." And if you need help finding resources, I can help you, like, get referred to them. Like, there are hotlines, there are so many resources out there, and that's just something that, like, I want to be able to talk about in a casual way, because I want people to realize that it's not, like, something you have to hush hush about and keep quiet. I think um it's something that, like, is important if you are in a place to talk about it, that you should talk about it and, like, make sure that other people know that they're not alone and it's something that you can get better from. Because I have. And that was something that, like, my, my primary care at the time when I was, having ideation, she had been to the exact same, um, adult day facility that I ended up going to and was a physician's assistant who was highly sought after for primary care, always has a full, like, schedule, and, like, people want to see her as a medical provider, and this was after she had, you know, a serious mental situation that required her to take time off to go inpatient at a facility and then do outpatient treatment for a while. Um so like I told her at the time, I was like, you are one of the biggest inspirations to me because I can sit here crying and listen to you talk about having been there and realize that you got better and your life wasn't ruined. People didn't look at you like you were broken, and you were able to be successful, and not just successful, but like sought after and, valued and treated as like a very important member of like her community. And that's still true. And so that's why I talk about things like this, quote unquote, casually, because I think it's important that we can destigmatize uh mental health conversations. And I realize that it's not everyone's cup of tea and not everyone is going to be able to sit here and listen to me talk about this. And that's fine because everybody has their own level of tolerance for things like this. And if anything I have said is triggering, then, like, obviously you need to take care of yourself. And I hope I gave enough warning for what I was talking about, um, to anyone who might, be triggered by anything we've talked about. But it's important to me that uh these things get discussed openly and publicly, and that people realize, like, hey, I can feel like this and get better and get to a place where I do wake up and feel happy every day instead of feeling like I shouldn't be here. And I can wake up and be hopeful for the future and look forward to things and have meaningful relationships and have meaningful work and be valued at my job and stuff like that. It's it is possible. And so that's why I like to talk about things like this um on stream, because I think it's important. Yeah, it's important, Midgard, to like know what things you can be safe with. And it's important to be honest with yourself ultimately. That is the thing that will do you the most good in your life. And it's hard for a lot of people, and I understand why. Um But, you know, I believe that with the right support and the right, care, everyone can get to that place. So yeah, that's my big old PSA and, you know, chit chat about, mental health. Yep, yep. I remember I remember when I was going to pick up my things from the office of the job that I had essentially ghosted, and I needed to get my things because I had been released from the job. I was so nervous, I was so anxious going back there, and, um, there was a guy who wasn't my supervisor, but he was a supervisor within the office, and he, asked me how I was doing pretty honestly. Like, it seemed like he genuinely wanted to know. And, I didn't really know how to answer because obviously I was still in the throes of it and I felt a lot of shame for a very long time about the fact that I had that depressive episode and it had affected me so seriously. And he when he could see that I wasn't sure how to answer, he was like, "Hey, you're still walking and talking." And sometimes that's enough. And so I just think about that sometimes. Like, some days walking and talking for me was good enough. So I think about that. And that's what that made me think of when you said you still have 2 eyes and 2 ears. So you're surviving, Midgard. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad that everyone who is here is here. Okay, let's see what we got. We got some cities that I've put on this map. I'm getting antsy to do color, but I'm not there yet. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I have 14 more settlements to do. Hey, Pedro. Thanks for the hug. Um, but yeah, so um, hopefully, if you're listening, you're having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, I hope that someday soon you'll be able to be having a good day. And that is my sincere wish for you in 2025. All right, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay, let's make a desert town. I think this one's going to be walled. Oh my god, decline. Somebody was calling me. Oh, I didn't know that she had a non Hololive like music stuff. It was a horror. Oh no, not the League of Legends. Yeah. Yeah, and like not to be like, yeah, I'm not. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. I'm in no means trying to like diminish myself, but like in comparison to someone like Mori Calliope, like I am small potatoes, but I am still someone who wants people to know if you're here watching my stream, you are here for some reason and you think I'm worth listening to. And so I want you to know that like I have a master's degree and I have a full-time job that I've been at for 4 years and I have a lot like I have insurance and I have benefits and I have dental and like I am viewed as like a responsible member of my team at work and I, have hobbies. I draw. I take care of a dog and a cat and a dryad roommate and like I am someone who has deeply struggled with depression and anxiety and untreated ADHD, but I was able to survive the period of time where it seemed like to me all I was another depressive episode. And I have been able to achieve more since that happened um, than I had ever thought was possible. So um, that's just, it's something I want people who are watching, who might be feeling the same way that I have felt in the past, to know that it is possible to survive those situations and thrive afterwards. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's really important, Midgard, and like I super appreciate when people who are like in positions of like, I don't want to say influence because that just gives like influencer vibes, but you know what I mean. Like, if it's someone you look up to in any way, shape, or form, whether it's, someone in Hololive or someone who just, happens to be drawing maps on Twitch and doxed herself 4 times last week. Um, I think it's important that like people speak up about their like experiences if they're able to. Obviously, if that's something that wouldn't make them comfortable or would do them harm in any way, shape, or form, not an obligation by any means. But like if it's something that someone is in a position to talk about, I think it's important that they do. Because it's so helpful to other people to know that you can struggle and still live and thrive. And like I think that's probably one of the reasons why Doki Bird is one of my top 3 VTubers that I idolize. Like, if you think about where she was this time last year, and you know where she is now, it's nothing short of a miracle, to be quite honest. And I say that in like not a religious sense, I like the fact that she was embraced and supported by her community, and she got the help she needed, and she has talked about this, to some degree since then. Like, she was in a very bad place last year around this time, and I think we are all better for the fact that she is still around and she is doing so well and is such an example of what can happen if you choose to keep going. And like, I didn't intend to have such a heavy heavy stream topics today, but like it is something that I think is important. And like I admire people like Doki Bird who are able to be an example and talk about this. Talk about mental health, talk about struggling, and talking about getting better, because I think it's yeah, you'll have to link me in Discord, Midgard, because I know nothing about like any of the work that she had done previously. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Um we're doing all kinds of yapping today, folks. We're just yapping our little heads off about any damn thing. Let's see. Ooh, so I am really excited. This is a complete and total topic shift. But I am really excited because I have been I have been checking my rig artist's uh Blue Sky religiously every morning, cuz I don't know if she's German or she's from somewhere in Europe around there, just based on her accent. And based on her time zone as well, cuz like she is usually streaming when I wake up. Like just you could DM me if you don't mind. Um she's usually streaming, if she is streaming that day, like when I wake up, or has been streaming for a little bit already. Like she was streaming this morning at 5. I woke up at 5 a.m. For reasons unbeknownst to any person. But you know, it turns out that when you have a relatively consistent schedule, you can sometimes wake up like half an hour earlier. Thank you, Midgard. And be totally fine. So that was nice. 'Cause usually, like, Celine and I independently uh, from each wake up independently from each other at, like, around 6:30. She, like, sets an alarm and will, like, wake up and come, wake me up if I am not already moving and grooving, but sometimes I am already up and, like, washing dishes like a complete ridiculous person at 6 in the morning, but, that is I have found that if I wake up and I have the energy to do a task, I gotta do it then, because I have no idea how I'm gonna feel later after working for my job. I have no idea how I'm gonna feel later after taking the dog OUT, multiple times that day. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's that meme of, woman must ride motivation to clean for as far as it takes her. Oh, that's cool. Good to know. Good to know. I wonder if that's related to the fact that, like, she is currently in Hololive. Oh. Ooh, that's cool. That'd be a fun react. But yeah, anyway, what I was talking about was, my, rig artist for the new Gull model. I say that like it's not just like really an outfit, but I guess technically since it's being re-rigged entirely, it's like it is low key like a new model because it will be separate model files in VTube Studio. But I'm so excited because she is amazing and like watching her do tutorials on things is so cool and just the progress is time zone is British. Okay. She's got like some kind of German-esque accent, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, she's so cool and uh she does all of these very neat tutorials and like all these like previews of my model rigging and I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. I'm gonna like the day that I get it, I know that I'm just gonna like be like, okay, I'm streaming now. Like, no announcement. Like, we're going. It's happening. But yeah, it's very exciting. Ow. I just moved my head and my neck cracked. But yeah, I'm very excited. New year, new Gull outfit. Yes. And absolutely no offense to the person who rigged my current model because I love my current model. Um, it turns out that like I was talking to Celine about this the other day. It turns out that like if you're going to skimp on anything for VTubing, you should skimp on art. You should not skimp on rigging because if you get somebody who is like remotely like dedicated and talented at what they're doing, like the difference between that and someone who is a beginner is incredible. And like it's just really cool. So absolutely no shade to the person who did my current model. It's just, having a little bit more money to throw at this one has already demonstrated the importance of rigging. So let's see. But yeah, I'm so excited. I don't remember what possessed me. I think like Celine said something at some point about like what, Gull the cactus would look like if she showed any amount of boobs. I think she was like responding to someone about the fact that like she was like Gull has boobs. It's just they're under a giant sweater, which like she's not wrong. Like you can see I just move up slightly. Like, you know, there is booba. I am just in fact wearing a sweater. So it's not like prominent, but she said something about like uh making it more obvious and like I don't know what possessed me, but I just like started drawing the outfit for the new design and like by no means am I like I'm never going to be the level of booba that Selena is because like oh my god, Cloud Factory, hi. I needed to tell you that I got to Ascension level 7 on the defect after Celine's stream was over. Very excited about Slay the Spire. Um Also, I have managed not to dox myself yet in an hour and a half. There's still time, but I have not yet. But yeah, so like you can very easily if you go looking, especially in like Celine's Discord or I think I've posted it on my Blue Sky. Like you can very easily find what the design for the new model looks like. But the idea is like it's more of a like summery look, I guess. Um and uh it's a set of overalls, like shorts, overall shorts, um and over a like bowling shirt that I kind of unintentionally made like the bi flag colors, which is very appropriate for me. And I put like a bunch of different patches and stuff and like just fun little details on the overalls and I'm just so excited. It looks so cute. I added like fun necklaces um to the model and it's going to be very cute. It's going to be very fun and there is more booba on display than in my current model, but it's like I said, by no means is it Celine levels, but I'm also like Celine's the sexy one. I'm just the awkward cactus. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I get the urge to be like bazongas. Like, don't think that I don't understand it, especially as someone who is a woman attracted to other women. Like, I get it, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just a little weird cactus and it's not my thing. I'm not the hot one, but that's okay. Um, and don't tell Celine I said this because she'll yell at me. Because she's like, no, don't say that about yourself. And I'm like, I'm not saying it in like a put down way. It's just like I'm not the person who's gonna be flirty because I'm kind of awkward. No, Alcoria, don't tell Selena. Plenty of other cacti that find me attractive. That is so valid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, but yeah, no, I don't mean it in like a low self-esteem way. I just mean like I'm not I'm not the flirt. And she's much better at like flirting with chat than I would ever be. Valkyrie theme, that's dope. Oh yeah, that's fun. Okay, we got a nice desert capital happening here. I am happy at the progress that is being made today. We love this. Bum, ba-da-da-da. You can't do a girl voice. Yep, fair enough. Although, I mean, like, you have VTubers like Porcelain Doll, who whose whole thing is that he's a possessed, or he's possessing a porcelain doll that is female looking, but he himself is obviously male. So, like, you don't have to, you know, put on a female voice or whatever by any means. Also, like, female voice is such a weird way of saying it because women sound like a lot of things. So, yeah, you could go the Zentrea route too. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, Midgard, what that sounds like to me is based on what you were saying earlier about like um what your teacher said to you. It sounds like, being neurodiverse in some way, shape, or form, and like having a very strong, like, um, I don't know, like a strong attachment to like your physical reality. That's what it sounds like when you say you're too object minded. Um, and like, there's nothing wrong with that by any means. And like, there's a lot of different ways to view yourself and to identify and what have you. So, I don't think it's weird or I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly, but like, yeah, I just get what you're talking about. Hi, Kasumi. But I also think that if you wanted to go like the porcelain doll or Zentrea roots, no one would. Well, that's not true because people do complain about that. I'm sure, but that's because we're in the VTuber sphere. But like, rational people would not blame you for like, exploring your own identity if that is the way you chose to do it. Oh my god, there was that, like, I don't know if that VTuber is still out there, but there was that one who was a hash brown in like a wrapper. So like, there is nothing that says that you have to be human even, which obviously I say as my cactus self. Oh yeah. I I get that, and I wasn't trying to like ascribe any sort of like suggestion that you wouldn't, you know, respect other people. But yeah, it's yeah, it's complex, I guess is the best thing I can say as someone who is not myself trans. It is complex, but I think that in some ways um some people can over focus on how others perceive them. And some people need to maybe think about it a little bit more. But that's like not even just in a gender identity sense. I mean that in like a interacting with society sense. Um Oh yeah, no, I get what you meant. I never thought that you were, going to be disrespectful of anybody. And I just wanted to make sure you knew that I knew that. But yeah, it's just one of those things like I think as long as you can respect other people, respect yourself, and live your life in a way that makes it able for you to be happy and other people to be happy without fucking things up for yourself or anyone else, you should be fine. Yeah, but, I don't remember what we were talking about before this. I think we were just talking about models. I'm talking about my model and how I'm very excited for when the last of the rigging is done because it's turning out great. Like, I love looking at the progress videos. Oh my god, I zoomed out way too far. Yeah, sometimes I think, like and this happens to me with D&D characters too, but sometimes I think, like, "Oh, why didn't I just make a VTuber model that was, like, a, like, perfect version, like, an idealized version of, like, what I would want to look like, more or less." And I think the answer I have come to is I kind of did, but, like, in a way that would make me feel the most comfortable expressing myself. And so even though, like, I've made D&D characters before who are, like, my ideal, look when it comes to, like, hyper femininity, and, like, unfortunately, that's, like well, not unfortunately, but, like, for me, that's just not something that, like, I have ever been able to pull off with a like, in a way that I felt like I looked good and was, comfortable with. But that doesn't mean that I, like, don't like and appreciate femininity. It just means, like, I don't think I necessarily pull it off well. But, I think, my model is, feminine while still being, like, playful and not, like, uber sexualized, and I think that was important to me because, like, I, as a person, like, don't go out of my way to, like, sexualize myself, not because, like, I disagree with people doing that, but just because, like, I guess I feel more comfortable just being, like, the goofy friend. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kasumi. Yeah, if you're misgendering someone because you're trying to own them or whatever, like, you're an asshole. But, like, I absolutely do agree that and I don't think this is exclusive to, issues of gender dysphoria. I think this can be, true of a lot of things, but, like, I think that there is a preponderance of people who are, like, overly concerned with how they are perceived by other people and also how, um, kind of they perceive other people, and, like, I think self-reflection is very important as long as it is honest and useful, I guess. And I don't mean useful like productive in like a capitalism way. I mean like if it's going to make you miserable and just sit there and like think about something and wallow, it's probably not a productive line of reasoning for yourself. So like even though self-identification can be very useful and it's very helpful for a lot of people, I do think that some people become too focused on it and it becomes something that is detrimental to their mental health. And it doesn't have to just be trans issues that we're talking about. That can be true of anything. So I agree with you. Yeah, we're talking all kinds of shit on this stream. It's yapping hours with Gull. Okay, let's see. We got that. I made some decent progress. I think I'm gonna okay. I think I'm gonna get up real quick and I can't say it too loud or else the dog and the cat will get very excited. But I think it's dinner time for the baby bears. Oh my god. I said the word dinner and I just turned to look and my dog, her little ear perked up and is sticking up in the air now. And her eyes are open. She was asleep. Okay. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to do this. No. Wait, can I not make any more layers? Have I done too many layers? Possible. No, I have not. Okay. I just wasn't clicking well enough. Okay. I'm gonna do this and say B. Oh, that's so small. It's unreadable. B dog and cat dinner. Okay. Why is it so small? Yeah, because I was drawing very small. Okay. I will be right back. And this way I'll leave it up so I can't accidentally dox myself, hopefully. So let's see what happens in like 10 minutes when I come back. All right, I'll see you soon. Hi, baby bear. Yeah, that's a big yawn. Yawn. Hello, I am back. And I realized once I was up that I was doing that ADHD hyperfocus thing where I wasn't thinking about how my body felt. So my left hand, which I use to hold the iPad, the fingies are a little crampy from the way I've been holding it for the past almost 2 hours. So um I might only have like half an hour ish left in me. So I wanted to give fair warning to folks. I got myself iced tea, and I have not tasted this iced tea without putting gamer subs in it. And so I tasted it and I was like, "Oh, this is unsweetened." So I was like, "I need to put a little bit of gamer subs in it because I just like how it tastes." Okay. Hi, baby. How was dinner? Was it good? Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look and see what I've done today. So I did this little town over here, these little guys down here, this it's more like urban sprawl, I think, of the capital than anything else, really. This little tree village. Um, this guy over here that's built into the waterfall, really, and then this one that's built into the mountain. And then this little desert town. So that's actually kind of a lot of progress. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I count that one already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 settlements. How do I represent gentrification in my map? I think that's on too small of a scale for me to do. But actually, it's funny you say that. If you look, the way I stylize these maps is you make the city look bigger than it actually is, obviously, just for like stylization purposes. Obviously, if you look at the thing here, the scale, this city is not in fact like 500 miles wide. It's just, bigger for emphasis. And if you look, you will see all the big fancy buildings are inside the walls. And outside, the buildings are much smaller and more packed together. So, in that way, you can see the stratification of society in its architectural decisions and the location in which people live or have to live, essentially. So, yeah. All right. I don't know what else I should be doing in the last half hour. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind, for real, for real. I think, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I have probably 3 to 4 more hours worth of drawing settlements. Although I think when no, I have not looked at anything because I don't want to look at anything while I'm streaming because I might accidentally show something that I don't want to and dox myself. Um, so I haven't looked yet, but it's on this monitor, so it should be fine, right? Hopefully. Oh, the biggest oh my god. Planet Popper. Look, Juniper. That's you. Look, it's you. Look. Do you see you spin? She's not looking at the computer. She's not looking at the computer screen at all. Oh my god, I love it. Thank you so much. I love it. Planet Popper, you're so nice. Can I show people? Can I show people this? Do you mind? I ask this and then I go away from chat so I can't see your answer. Yeah, okay. So, uh open in browser. Dog spin. Look at Planet Popper made me a pixel art of dog spinning that looks like my dog. Thank you so much. I love it. I would save it, but it's gonna open up Windows and that's dangerous. Okay, I'll save it when I'm over here on the other monitor. Dog spin one dot gif. Thank you so much. I cry. I can't wait to show Celine. She is somewhat awake in the living room. She might be asleep now. Oh my god, but thank you. I love her. Okay. Oh my gosh. I did not expect that. Yeah, she is in the chair. It was supposed to be that she would go the point and laugh emote. She was supposed to go do things in her room, like record audio and stuff, and then she did fall asleep in the chair and resisted all attempts to be awoken. Hey, Lindsay. Ugh. Okay. I think I'm at the just yapping portion of the stream because my fingies are tired. But I'm excited to get to the point where I can yes, the chair has claimed its victim. I'm excited to be getting closer to the point where I can put some more color down. That'll be very fun. And yeah, what did I do? Where did this come from? Oh, no, that's never mind. That's fine. That's allowed to be there. I thought that I just drew like a giant line. It's not atypical for me to do that. But no, it's the layer where I was mapping everything out and it's fine. It's allowed to be there. It is a huge map. Yes. It is a lot of miles. I think it's supposed to be an entire world. It's not my map. It's for a client for a webcomic that is like a fantasy type society. Well, multiple societies. It's 3 countries on this big main continent here. But yeah. You can see some of my very fun embellishment. There are sand snakes in the desert, so I made a big old sand snake on the map. Yeah, exactly. Different kinds of folks in different kinds of locations. Aw, thank you. Yeah, that's my honestly, I think that's the best part of any map. If you make like I want to be able to have, even if it's tiny, like even if it's like a really little, like you can tell that something about this city because it has these 4 bridges here that cross this river. You can tell the river is very important to it. And this one has tons of docks. So even though they are very tiny and the amount of detail is very scarce, I want there to be some amount of personality that you can glean from a settlement, even when it's tiny. Because I think that's important. It gives character to your map and it makes it look less like generic, like, oh, there's a bunch of mountains and trees and shit here. So that's the fun part to me. And like, I like, even though it's small, I like drawing different styles of buildings. Like you can tell just from the buildings here that this is like a desert dwelling society, just based on the way they are. I know. Pedro and Planet Popper have been making fun of me for unregistered, but This I was told by the internet, and who would go on the internet and lie, really? But I was told by the internet that, this app that I'm using to screen mirror from my iPad onto my computer, was free. I have come to find out that you have to pay $3.99 to register it. I don't know what the benefits of registering it are. However, this app did when you close what the screen mirroring, when you tell it to stop mirroring, it will show your fucking IP address on the default screen of the app. So that was one of the 4 ways that I doxed myself the last time I streamed. So I'm not gonna register because you can't make me. Yeah, but anyway, it appears for like a second. I don't care. Like, this is some random app that's on the Windows Store. Like, I don't think it's been updated in years. Like, there's no support for it. I don't need to give them $3.99. They can't make me. Even though Cloud Factory raises a good point, they might be able to make me, but they haven't been able to make me yet. They have not stopped me from using it. All they've done is put the word unregistered on my stream every so often, and that's fine. Did Celine ever tell you guys that her old computer, she she had a copy of Windows. She had actually purchased the copy of Windows from the people that she had purchased the computer from. And when they gave it to her, they didn't put the like registration key in on her Windows copy. So it needed her to enter it in. And they had put this information on a sticker that they had stuck to her, either her monitor or her tower. But in any case, by the time she finally got annoyed enough at it that she wanted to actually register her copy of Windows, the sticker had like the words or the numbers or letters, whatever, had been rubbed off of the sticker and it was illegible. So when she called them, they were like, well, you're SOL, you have to buy a new key, essentially, because we don't keep record of what the key is. You're supposed, like, we gave that to you. That's your fault. And so she had the little activate Windows thing in the corner of her computer until she got a new computer. And it was really, really funny. And we would make fun of, like, me and other friends would make fun of her every time we saw it if she was ever like screen sharing. It was really funny. Having said that, I think if I recall correctly, I got a copy of Windows from I don't remember what they're called, but like I got one of the like cheaper licenses of Windows, which are legitimate licenses, but they're cheaper for some like sort of sketchy reason. I don't remember what it is. Something about like being purchased in bulk, I think. I don't know. But in any case, I have run into no problems and they cannot catch me. I am a cactus of free will. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't advocate for piracy on this stream, but it's not hard to Google. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I would never advocate for piracy. Wink. Um, I just like winking. I think I look cute when I do it. Nice. That is nice. But are you using a personal computer for your job? Oh, I see. Gotcha. You just have like extra licenses if you need it, just in case. But yeah. Oh, my fingies, not even my drawing fingies. Ow. It was my iPad holding fingies that are crapped. No, that are cramped. Oh yeah. I understood what you meant, Anze. I gotcha. I picked up what you were putting down. Okay. Well, at this point, I'm kind of just hanging out, chatting, which I think it might be time for me to go bother Celine into waking up from the chair. And I will resume drawing at a later time. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Yeah, you should go to bed. It is late, Planet Popper. It was really fun. We talked about all kinds of things today on this here stream, and I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate being able to get serious and get silly and get serious again. So, very fun. Yeah. Thank you all for a chill stream. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good afternoon, a good morning, a good evening, wherever it is you are in the world. And you should go hang out with Celine tomorrow. That is at Celine Whitetail on Twitch. She will be streaming at 8 a.m. EST. I think it's another God of War day, but I could be wrong because I'm not in charge of her stream. I guess I could go look at her schedule. Yeah, it is God of War day. And then on Saturday, she's streaming with me, and we're gonna do Mario Kart 64 and Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64. So it's very exciting. It's gonna be ridiculous. And oh, I think I also discovered that they have Mario Party 3 on the like Nintendo thing, the virtual console thing. So that'll be very fun. I have to set up her Switch for video capture, but that's not too hard. All right. Thank you very much. Hope you have a good rest of your Thursday and a good Friday. And I will see you all later. Bye. Thank you for hanging out. Bye. Bye. Okay.